Hello and welcome back to another food-filled video. On this fine Tuesday morning, I treated myself to a gorgeously fried portobello mushroom. They are honestly my favourite mushroom at the moment. I just love their meatiness and fullness when biting into them. Anyway, I served it up with a bit of a random combo of finely chopped lettuce with this gorgeous sauce shop ranch mayo I was kindly sent, sliced up some bread, plopped it into the toaster while frying an egg on low heat. This might seem like a lot of effort for breakfast, but I actually just really enjoy starting off my day with a varied and full meal. Not a huge fan of cereal. I find it a bit too sweet and it just never fills me up. I find that I get to around 10 AM and I'm hungry again. I like porridge though, that's a cracker. For lunchy poos, I made a stunning homemade chili oil beef noodle dish. The recipe is on my website and it's a fab midweek lunch or dinner if you ask me. You can make it vegan by subbing out the beef mince with grated tofu and crushed walnuts, which is really tasty. I've provided a variety of alternatives on the website, so feel free to go and check it out if you fancy. I was invited to the Guild of Food Writers Awards ceremony to celebrate some of the best cookbooks of the year. You guys, it was so lovely and I met so many talented people. It was quite overwhelming, but I talk more about that further on in the video. But talking about the event, we had canapes and drinks to start and then enjoyed the joyful award ceremony presented by one of my favourite foodie people, Layla Kazim, who's a wonderful food and travel presenter, broadcaster and writer. The last award to be given was for the Lifetime Achievement Award, which was presented by none other than Sandy Toksvig and awarded to Prue Leith. It was just such a real pinch me moment and her speech was so funny and inspirational. It was just honestly so fabulous. After that, we had more canapes and just chatted and met new people and then headed back home for the evening. Rightio, let's make lunch together. So today, for lunch, I really fancied making a beef pho. Henry isn't feeling that great, and so I just thought it'd be nice to kind of make something that comforted his throat. I used to work as a chef at a Vietnamese restaurant, and honestly, making pho was one of my favorite things. We would cook it in these huge vats. It was just so, you'd be swirling it like a witch's pot. It was just so much fun. Anyway, today I'm going to be making a really simple version. So we've got beef stock, veggie stock, and then a handful of spices. So we've got cardamom pods, star anise, cinnamon sticks, and cloves. Added that all in there, and then I've let it simmer for about 1 to 2 hours. Now, after it's been simmering, you kind of want to add in other types of seasonings like sugar, salt, and fish sauce. Now, if you're veggie or vegan, then feel free to just use veggie stock and then omit the fish sauce. Yeah, I'm so excited to try this. You essentially just want to keep tasting as you go along, change it based on your preferences. Oh my goodness. That's so good. Also, just whilst we're here, wanted to talk to you a little bit about social anxiety because obviously I went to the Guild of Food Writers event last night and I'm not going to lie, I was quite nervous to go because although I knew a handful of people going who I feel like I know quite well and really enjoy their company, I was also very aware that I would turn up and potentially not know anyone and also be surrounded by people who were seriously talented. If you suffer from social anxiety or you get really nervous in social situations, I just thought I'd share a tip that I personally use to kind of build my confidence before going to the event and to try and avoid pulling out of going to the event. So what I do is I basically try and imagine myself having been to the event. So basically imagine myself coming back from the event after the event and after having interactions with people, making new friends, learning new things. And I know that I love that feeling. I love that feeling of having communicated with people, having engaged with people. It really just boosts my energy levels. Even if I know that I'm not going to know anyone at an event, I will always just be like, okay, right, I've just got to go up to that person and just go, hi, my name's Emily and nice to meet you. What do you do? La la la. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, they will engage with you and you will probably just make a really good friend. So yeah, nobody asked for that, but I just thought I'd share it because, you know, everyone has those kind of events they have to go to and it's really nerve-wracking. But if you just have that positive outset of like, this will be worth it, you know, I think that what I'm trying to say is be proud of yourself. It's normal to be nervous and yeah, you've got this. Well, I don't know, might not help. Anyway, let's make some fun. Okay, so the meatball pho was a success, and then in the evening I headed up to Sophie Wybert's cookbook launch. Now, for those of you wondering, when you write a cookbook, you don't have to do a book launch. It's just more of an opportunity to celebrate the fact that you've achieved writing an actual cookbook. You can either do more of a private thing and invite friends and family, or you could organise more of a work event where you invite people in your industry, or you can organise an event for your readers or followers as a time and a place to meet and do book signings. Sophie's new book is called Tucking In, and it is a beautifully comforting cookbook filled with wholesome recipes that you can't not enjoy. So definitely go check that out if you fancy gorgeous comfort food. I was still pretty peckish after the event, so on my way home I picked up some mango and a discounted hoisin duck wrap. I usually eat leftovers for dinner or make something from scratch, but it was quite late and I was honestly just really tired, so I gobbled up the duck wrap and then munched on some mango before heading to bed and having a very peaceful sleep. I'd made one of the recipes from Sophie's book and fancied the leftovers for lunch. It is a delicious bean, leek and sausage stew, which I served up with some mashed potato, super buttery mashed potato, topped with a load of grated parmesan, and honestly it's such a comforting meal and I absolutely loved it. So delicious. For dinner, my sister and I headed out to Darico, an Italian restaurant in Soho we'd kindly been invited to. The decor was very fun and they had a great DJ set going on which added to the funky atmosphere. For starters, we had the beef carpaccio, crab, ravioli and arancini. The carpaccio was very nice and a little thicker than other carpaccios I've had, which was really lovely actually because it gave it a bit more of a bite. The arancini were nice but not as saucy or flavourful on the inside as I kind of would have liked. I think the grating of the parmesan on the outside was a bit overpowering and took over the flavour of the filling. But the ravioli on the other hand was absolutely delicious. The crab was the highlight with a lovely lemony zing. For the mains we had a Nduja stracciatella pizza which was scrumptious and a veal schnitzel with a side of rocket salad. The pizza was delish and the schnitzel was good, but I think there was a little bit too much of a flour coating, or it hadn't been drained of its oil as much as I would have liked. The dessert wines were really very tasty, especially the Recite delle Valpolicella, which was the red dessert wine. The tiramisu was one of the best I've ever had. It was super smooth, and then the olive oil chocolate mousse was super silky and really flavourful. Overall, a really great place to go on a date or celebrate with family, but just be aware that the starters start around £12–13 and mains vary from £19 to £45, so do with that what you will. Good morning. So I'm not going to lie to you, this morning I just did not feel hungry. I just haven't felt hungry all morning. Usually I'm quite the keen bean for breakfast, but I think I had a lot for dinner last night, and I think either sometimes I wake up I'm absolutely ravenous, or it'll be the opposite and I just won't be able to eat anything. Oh, I did get something though. for my new cookbook, The World is Your Dumpling, which by the way, you can pre-order by clicking the link in my description below, I needed to film some dumpling wrapping tutorials. So that's what I did today. I made a really simple beef mince filling and then filmed 10 different types of pleats. The videos all demonstrate how to clearly pleat dumplings in various different ways, and they all have voiceovers on them so that they're easy to follow. I then cooked them in a non-stick frying pan with a glug of oil and then poured in some boiling water, added on the lid, and then let them cook for about 7 minutes. I served them up with a soy sauce chili oil recipe I made and then ate them in the sun. They were so juicy. Honestly, I never ever get tired or bored of making them. In the evening, I headed out to celebrate another one of my good friends' cookbooks, Dinner Tonight by Melis Berg. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous cookbook featuring Turkish Cypriot food. It's honestly fantastic. This was a supper club that she'd organised to promote some of the recipes from the book. Everything was vegetarian and so incredibly delicious. From the hummus soup to the cabbage rolls to the baklava-inspired crumble, the flavours were incredible, and I know that I'm going to be cooking a lot from this book. And also, Melis is just such a lovely human. I just feel like her food reflects her personality. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this video, and if you have, then I'd be so grateful if you liked or commented on the video. Feel free to also subscribe if you fancy watching more. Thank you so much, and see you next time.